maybe a good contact email or whatever to get a hold of you. That will enter you to win the raffle. And then also we'll follow up with you and take 5 or 10 minutes to go over your retirement benefits. Because I know, again, you got a lot going on. It might seem like a million miles away, but you hate to look up in 10 years and be like, oh, that guy that was on the screen 10 years ago, I should have talked to him, right? So usually like Jessica says, we bring you a bunch of food. We have a bunch of tchotchkes and giveaways, but obviously because of COVID, we're not doing that. But I'm looking forward, hopefully, to praying to the good Lord that we get back to normal sooner rather than later. So thanks, Jessica. Appreciate it.
No, thank you, David. We appreciate it. So hopefully someone will still be able to get some Amazon. Sometimes that's even better than some food, right? Getting an Amazon gift card. We appreciate you guys. Mallory has also captured David's information, and she's gone ahead and put it in the chat for you. So if you didn't get a chance to text him yet, you can go ahead and do that we can get entered in for that gift card and connect with them about the services they have. Thanks, David. All right, so we are going to jump right in. We have some really great breakout sessions for you and speakers tonight. We know that online learning has been a hot topic, to say the least. We know that we've been getting a lot of different feedback from teachers who are trying to figure out what's going on, and it kind of hit kind of in the intersection of, well, it's a new teacher seminar, but I'm not a new teacher. Should I go ahead and go to it or what? And we hear that all the time. Even though it's a new teacher seminar, it's open for everybody. So maybe you've seen how we've kind of started renaming it to be an all teacher seminar, because we all feel like new teachers this year. So you may be interacting with people who have plenty of years of experience, but they feel like a new teacher this year because they're in e-learning and they've never done that before, or they're a hybrid classroom, or they're in a classroom where they have limited technology and they're trying to figure out how this works. So we wanted to give you an opportunity to be able to hear it straight from the experts themselves, both our InTech team and then also a few of our teacher leaders who are having great success with this in their classroom. So to help us out, we're going to put the breakouts on the board for you to look at. You have a QR code that you can scan, or you can go ahead and use the link that's in the chat. Mallory's just put it there. And all you got to do is pick which one you want to go to. So let me give you a brief description of each. We have Candy Morris, who's a high school teacher, who's going to be talking about using technology with hybrid learning. When in that case, you're really going to, if you're a hybrid teacher and you want to say, how do I engage both students who are on the computer and students who are in my classroom at the same time, you're going to want to jump onto Candy's session. Then we have Lindsay, and she is a classroom teacher, campus learning teacher, who's able to still engage her students with technology through Flipgrid. And she's able to really keep this engagement and feedback and interactiveness in the classroom still going on with the students that she has. So if you're interested in that, Flipgrid is an incredible tool. So you're going to want to make sure that you definitely go there. I see that it says it needs permission to access. I actually have it up right now. So let me make sure. Yep. All right. Try it now. I just changed the restrictions. And then finally, we have Natalie James. She's also an elementary teacher, and she is doing e-learning right now. And she has a really interesting presentation about how you can leverage Google Sheets so that way you can collect data, and she'll show you a way that you can basically analyze it for you really quickly, and it's easy to see. But what's even like a bonus is how you can use these Google Sheets to collaborate with other teachers. Whether if you're departmentalized and you want to collaborate with the people that you work with, or even if it's a push-in teacher or a para who's servicing your students. So really interesting. Again, Candy Morris is the hybrid learning teacher, the blended learning teacher. Lindsay is the campus learning teacher using technology in her classroom. And Natalie is the e-learning teacher who is using Google Sheets. All right, so just in case you're just coming in, you can still access that link in the chat. Mallory has put it in there, and I can see by the responses coming in, it is working now. We appreciate it. All right, so next up, who's going to lead us through our whole group session is our InTech team. And we are so excited to have Laura Sawyer and Will Austin here with us tonight. And they are so awesome. When I was in the classroom, they had Cafe Engage, and I was there all the time, just kind of picking their brains on different things. And I will truly say that they were able to make a huge impact on me being able to use the technology that I had in my classroom effectively, more than, oh, we'll use it like a whiteboard, or, oh, we'll use it like, just to take a quiz. So it was definitely a game changer being able to interact with these two. So I'm excited that they're going to bring some information to you about Smart Learning Suite Online. If you were like me, I used to think, oh, the Smart Board, Okay, I use it kind of like a whiteboard, but there's so much more you can do with it. So I'm really excited for them to get to show you all that the Smart Learning Suite Online can do. And with no further ado, Will says he's here to cheer Laura on. Laura, Will, we're gonna need you in here too. So Laura, I'm gonna pass it over to you.
Thank you so much for having us here. And I do want to also give a shout out to Sonia Turlington on our team. She is also here, and she and another teammate, Marissa Wishart, wrote this training. We will be repeating this training in the coming weeks. You're getting a small version of it, but we have the full version that we will definitely send everybody here an invitation to. So if you want more, you'll have a second opportunity for that. And Jessica is right on with SMART. So SMART Notebook, and the way we have used SMART in the past, has been a smart board. It's been front of the room interaction. A kid or two might come up, or the teacher might stand in front. Smart Learning Suite Online is actually that moves the interactivity into the kids' hands using their devices that they've got. And what's interesting about this is this really transcends all learning platforms or learning modalities. So if you're a hybrid teacher, you can use this with your kids that are with you and the kids that are distance. If you're e-learning only, if you're face-to-face, you can use it in all of those ways. And especially if you do have that combination or the e-learning students, it's another way to bring in that community because they're going to be learning together. So the way this is going to go, and it will be kind of fast. So at the end, we will give you a link or the code for our Learning Lab Schoology course, where you can get all of the resources, but we're going to give that to you at the end so that you don't jump ahead. And so the way this is going to go is I'm going to invite you to my Smart Learning Suite classroom. You're going to interact with the program as a student, but I'm also going to have next to it both the teacher and the student view. So if you're not able to get on with us, you can still see it and you can see the differences. So with no further ado, I will share my screen. And if you have questions, please do post them. We have Will and Sonia here to answer those questions. And I am so sorry I'm not able to.
Laura, would it help if I stop sharing my screen?
It might. Okay. It keeps putting me in a circle.
How about that?
Let's see. Okay. Oh, I am so sorry. It's not going to allow me to do it. It makes me quit. I am so sorry. Can I step out and come right back? It'll take me about 1 minute. I'm
Absolutely.
so sorry.
Go ahead. All right. With that being said, I know that we're going to wait for her to come back in. It'll be really quick. I'm going to kind of do a little plug for you. If you have a cell phone, which pretty much anybody with a screen on right now, or anybody who does not have their screen on right now, be sure to check out our social media. This is not just for just showing cute things or fun things. We post all of our events and activities. So you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. I am an Instagram girl, so I always go there. I've tried to spice it up a little bit and keep it relevant. So you can find us at Teach Engage PCPS. So there's about 30 of us on tonight. So I expect about 20 new followers if you're not following us already. And we do like to do several things and share a lot of our information that you might miss because you have an event, you have a doctor's appointment, something pre-scheduled. And that's what I love about being virtual this year is that we are recording things and posting them so that you are able to get a hold of that information without just like missing out because, oh man, I couldn't show up for that event. I do miss the food. I know that I've been on teacher engagement for a while, and last year that was the best part, but you can always enjoy your favorite snack at home and then just show up to our meetings as well. So that's what I love about that as well. The Instagram name, thank you, Candy, is Teach Engage PCPS. Jessica just dropped that in the chat. Sometimes we like to ask what's going on in the classroom. So if you have something fun that you're sharing, we also ask that you use the hashtag #LovePolkSchools, which we're going to drop that in the chat as well. And that just helps us kind of put all of those materials together so we can see what you're doing in your classroom and then share it with everybody else. So awesome. Thanks,
I'm
Jessica.
back.
You're back. Laura's back.
Yes.
All right, that was my plug.
So, I got a new computer, and so I hadn't turned on Zoom to share my screen yet. So that's what it was. So I'm
Piece
good
of
now.
cake. All right, there you go.
There we go. It's coming. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so what you're going to do to join my class is you're going to go to hellosmart.com, and then you're going to add the class ID 319201. And I'm going to join you as a student as well. When you get to hellosmart.com, you're going to join as a guest. Now, your students can either be a guest or can sign in. The benefit to signing in is they actually can use your presentation as a homework assignment or to review. But for right now, I don't want you to sign in because you are a teacher and you have a different kind of account. So right now you're going to be a student, and you are going to make sure you put in your school appropriate name. That's the biggest problem with joining as a guest. But if your kids are inappropriate, you can pop them out, clarify your expectations, and let them back in with an appropriate name. And I can see all my students coming in. There's 12. I'm going to leave it on for just a little bit longer. And so, as I was saying, we love Smart Learning Suite Online because it's moving that interactivity into our students' hands. It just gives so many more opportunities for those kids to interact and have that active learning experience where they're not just sitting there and listening. They get to do something while you're teaching. They have to interact. They can, and we're even going to show you how you can differentiate the lesson as well. I'm going to leave this up for about 30 more seconds, try to get the last few of you in. And again, if you have questions, post those in chat. Some of those questions we may need to get back to you on, and we'll post our support email address. So I see us at 17, pretty stable. So we're going to go on with the lesson. Right now, if I am in SMART, and I just click on the people, I can see the names of my students that are coming in. The class ID is still posted, so kids that are coming in late and you're introducing them, you can keep that name number up. I'm also choosing right now to do this as a teacher pace, so I can control the learning or the pace of the learning, or I can give that over to my students, and I'm going to do that for you in just a few minutes. All right, so at this point, I am going to move on. So if I'm just waiting, I'm seeing a few more pop in. I don't want to miss anybody. So the first question, I'm going to move on to the next screen, but I want you to think about, how is this year going so far for you? We're going to put you into a collaborative activity, and you're going to use an image and then post just a few words below that image to describe how your year is going so far. So as I move forward, this is actually called a workspace because you're going to collaborate in teams. And again, you'll see how your students will be able to collaborate as well. As the teacher, remember, I'm on the left side of the screen, and myself as a student, I'm on the right side of the screen. So as a teacher, I click set up. You don't see this as a student. I'm just doing this in the background. I would like to have 6 teams. And as you see, it posts students into the teams automatically. I don't even have to do the work. But if I know that Lee and Will do not get along, I can pick up Lee and I can move this student to a different team. I can keep them. So I still have control over that. Once I'm ready, I'm just going to go ahead and start. And now you see on the left-hand side, if you're looking at my screen, you can see that I have all of the teams and I can jump into them. If you are looking at your screen, you would see what I have on the right. So you're going to just take one of those images, move it over to the boxes to the right, and write a small caption for why you chose that. So how is your year going so far? Almost 9 weeks into it. And I can go through and I can look at the different teams, and I can see a lot of people on this team too. I can see what they're doing. I can go through and I can click the arrow over, and I can watch it real time, and I can see those changes as the teacher and see what they're starting to post. I see on team 4, a new fire is happening every day. Yes, I feel that. I'm going to go through just a couple more, and you see you can move that over and we can get that feel for what our students might be feeling. You are hanging on. We're going to make it through this, and we're going to be triumphant. Yes, this is going fantastically well. I love those aha moments. We are getting those daily, right? We're all learning together on this. Let's see if we have a couple more. It looks like it's a leap, but it looks like we're going to make it. And the same thing, it's a jump, but we'll be victorious. Leap of faith every day. And yes, you guys are very inspirational, because we are going to make it, and we're going to make it together. But hopefully you can see with this activity now, I've just gotten to kind of get a glimpse at all of you, even though at this moment I haven't gotten to speak to any of you one-on-one, but I can get a temperature of what's happening, and you get to have your voice in that class. And you can see somebody is writing it. So you can either put text, you can also use the writing tool as well. I'm going to move to the next page. So why would we use Smart Learning Suite online? And the first and foremost is it does transcend that classroom format. So it doesn't matter if you're e-learning, hybrid, face-to-face, you can build that community using it, and you can keep those kids engaged using something just a little bit different that they may not be used to using, but they still get to have their voice and practice, and we're going to show you all of those. It's flexible. You just did a collaborative activity. In a few minutes, I'm going to show you an individual activity, and then we've got individualized support as well, where you can review vocabulary and that kind of stuff. It's also flexible in that right now it's teacher paced, but it can be student paced, and you'll see that as well. Again, I've already said this, but students are doing something. So right from the beginning, you were moving that, you were thinking of a little caption, you were trying to capture your thoughts right there for the class and your team to see. And then finally, the thing that I love just as much as that it can be used in any format is the live feedback. So one, I'm getting feedback from you by reading those responses, but I can also give you feedback individually or collectively as we're going through this. So what we're going to start with is an ELA lesson on theme. This is actually a 9th grade standard. This comes directly from our curriculum maps, and the activities in there, the ideas of the activities come directly from our curriculum map as well. So we want to look at how we might look at this lesson of theme using SMART. So we're going to start with a story, The Diamond Necklace. And this is a short story by Guy de Maupassant. And it's about this this lady who grew up very poor and marries a like a person with a lowly job. So she still remains poor, but she dreamed of riches. So one day her husband receives an invitation to a ball. She wants to go, but she needs this beautiful dress so that she can impress people. And once she has that, she needs a necklace. She needs jewels. So she borrows a diamond necklace from one of her friends. And as she's going through the evening, at some point, she loses this diamond necklace. Well, they didn't want to say anything, so they replace it. They go out, they buy it. They actually lost everything. They had to work for 10 years just to pay this off, and they're trying to scrounge, and she just accepts her life as it is, and they pay off all their debts. 10 years later, they see this lady that she borrowed the necklace from, and finds out that the necklace was an imitation, and it was only worth about 1/10 of what they paid to replace it. So this is really about theme, the character development, how she changes, events that change that, or reasons behind that. So let's look at something that we could do. So in this lesson, I'm going to start still as teacher paced and then move it over to student paced so that you can see how we can differentiate the activity. In order to do that, I'm going to have you differentiate yourself by taking a formative assessment. So I'm going to go ahead and start that. Again, all of this is inside SMART itself. So I'm going to start it. You have 2 questions. It really doesn't matter if you get them correct or incorrect. If you can see my screen, you can see what the teacher sees on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, if you're following me, you can see how I interact as a student. And again, it doesn't matter if it's correct or not. But as a teacher, and I'm watching all of this come through, at any point, I can go in and I can pause the activity. So at this point, I have 65% of the total of answers. There's only 2 questions. So 65% of 2 times, I think we have 22 people in here, 44 questions. So right now, if I wanted to just stop and redirect, or maybe I wanted to remind them, or maybe we just wanted to stop and start looking at some of the data that's coming in, we can do that through even in the middle of an assessment. And I really like this because if I need to stop you, I can stop you and get your attention. So, but I'm going to resume and let you guys finish. And it is okay if you get it incorrect. And if you're able to, if you can pop back over to the screen that I'm sharing, I want to show you the data that I can look at. So right in the very beginning, I see that a lot of people chose C. We have some that are B, and just one that chose A. So we can go through and we can talk about that. I can look at each question. The students are not going to see, of course, the individual answers. I mean, what each student received, but we can look at it globally, and we can look at, are there misconceptions? Are there things that we need to redirect? Are they on the right track? And so I can continue to have that data chat even live while they're working. I'm going to go ahead and end it because I want to show you one more thing while we're here. I can also review the activity with them live, or I can go through, letter C was the correct answer. I can also look at, in the other question, I can see what that right answer. As a student, I can scroll through and see I got both of them incorrect. And so I can see mine privately. I can see as a teacher, and I can show that to students if I wanted to. Now, if I didn't want to do that and I wanted to save the results, maybe I want to put them in Schoology, maybe it is a formative assessment and it's not the way we're using it. I can click this export results, and it's going to give me all of my individual students and what they made on that quiz. So from here, I am going just about to let you go. And as far as going student paced. So go ahead and make this student paced. And start it. So in this activity, each student is now receiving this handout that you are going to individually differentiate your assignment based on how you did on that quiz. And if you are able to see my screen, you'll see all of my students coming through. Oh, I'm seeing some of my friends are here. Hi, Kimberly. I have a few others that are here too, if I didn't say hi to you. So I'm going to just show you, you can go ahead and click start and you can move on that activity. As a teacher, I don't want to mess up or get display an individual student's work. So I'm just going to click this teacher handout. And as I'm teaching and I want to show the students what they can do, I can use this teacher handout to go through that. So we have several groups. We've got the mild, you didn't get any right, I'm in that group. We have the medium who made 1 right and spicy who made 2 right. Now you could have them differentiate in any way you'd like. We just chose this to try to give you an idea. But now if I go through and I pull out these tabs, in the mild group, these are from the curriculum map. These are the intervention activities. So there might be a folder that has review work. I want them to go back. I want them to review the main idea, to code the main idea, details, and synonyms. Maybe I want them to create a drawing for that represents what they're going to do, or watch or I'm sorry, that represents the change in the character over time, or they also may need to watch that video. So I've got several things that they can do as that at that mild level. In medium, we have additional activities for them to do. Again, this is straight from the curriculum map or based on our curriculum map. So this is more those students that are closer to being right on target. And those kids that are on the spicy side, they got it all right, they need that challenge. Here are some extension activities that students can do. And so we chose to differentiate it by having them take that little quiz. Then they, on their own, are going to decide which 3 activities they're going to do. Are they going to do the 3 in mild, the 3 in medium, or the 3 in spicy? Now, as the teacher, I can also go in and I can see Paula here. I'm going to click on yours. It's okay if you have crazy things on there. So she looked at it and it does say to submit your work in Schoology. Well, I can go in there and I can add text if I want to. I can add, you know, a try this activity. Let me go ahead and make it so you can see it. But I can go in and individually tell Paula, okay, this is what I want you to look at now. I can add the websites. I can even draw if I'm on an iPad, or if I just want to say, hey, you did it, you accomplished what you were supposed to do. And I can give them individualized feedback based on their differentiated activity. I can also scroll through all of my students as well here and see they're looking at their activities, or they've done something, they've added a picture, they've added a question. I need help. So Sonia here needs help. So I may need to redirect her. I could even give her the website. We got this from Common Lit, so I might say go back to Common Lit and do this activity. Or I might say, okay, let's start first, watch the video, and then kind of direct her a little bit more specifically through that. So so I can see that she needs help. She doesn't even have to raise her hand. She can be in distance and I can see her individually, even though I'm doing this as a whole class. So the next few slides are examples of the differentiated activities, just so that you can see them. We're not going to spend a lot of time, although you may have scrolled through them, and you are welcome to if you'd like. This is an example of a YouTube activity or a YouTube that's been inserted into the presentation. And as you see, it takes the entire screen and it goes in there beautifully. And I just click play. I'm going to show you quickly how to add that in the last couple minutes of this. You can add things like vocabulary practice. So this is a matching activity. Let's see. If I get them right as a student, then I get to shoot this little alien. If I get them incorrect, then it does something else. I can check them. Yeah, it tells me that I got them incorrect. And then I can always reset and keep trying it. So those students that need that extra practice inside there with the vocabulary or other concepts, they can do this as long as they want to, and they can keep trying to make those matches and get that vocabulary so they're more successful in reading that story or understanding, comprehending that story. This next activity, and again, I'm just trying to go through it kind of quickly to give you an idea. This is another one of the interventions, which is to create a Frayer model, or Frayer the Frayer vocabulary. And this is one of our templates that are in SMART. So I'm going to show you where you can get those, but you can see that you can go in and you can create ways for students to interact in multiple ways. All right, and then this is the last one I'm going to show you in detail, and then I'm going to show you a little bit about SMART and then get you into our course. Again, we are repeating this. In fact, Sonia and Marissa will be repeating this, and we'll go into much more depth. Right now, I can only go through it kind of quickly, but we're going to give you stuff to help you with this. So the last one I'm going to show you is a game-based activity that's normally vocabulary, but we're going to do this, and I'm going to change it to teacher-led so that you're all with me, so that you can give children a choice board, a voice and a choice in what they're going to do. So this might be at the end of the activity, this might be at the end of the week, and now we're going to go into a deeper learning of that. This is normally like flip cards or the index cards, the flashcards. But Sonia has set this up very uniquely. So right here, instead of having the word and the definition, she's got directions. You have to do 3 tasks. You must do 1 bronze, 1 silver, and 1 gold. So let's look at those. If I look at the bronze real quick, I can use Flipgrid. If you don't know how to use it, there's a breakout for that. We could make a T-chart of the explicit and implicit character motivations. Using Kami, annotate the text. So and the students can choose the one that works the best for them, or the way they want to show what they know for that information. In silver, you might sketch something using Google Draw, or use that Frayer model, or make a book cover for the story. How can you represent the theme through a book cover? So in all of these ways, they're looking at trying to go deeper with that concept. And then finally, our gold one, pick one, they can make a vision board of the experience that might change you in the future. You could create a movie in iMovie or Clips, or you can use Minecraft Education to create the ideal house for Madame Loisel, our main character. Now, the examples we used, of course, were technology, because we are the instructional technology department. These could be analog. These could be a way to get your students away from technology. So you might have one or more in each category that is make a poster or design this and submit that a picture of that so that you're getting them away from the computer. You could do it high tech, low tech, you could do a combination of them. But I love including this because it's a different way to use an activity that's normally more vocabulary based. Now we're using it as a choice board. So let me look real quick where we are. And we are almost, I am almost at the 30 minutes. So I'm not going to be able to show you any more of these. We will invite you, like I said, to our upcoming webinar. But just for an idea, this is a very jam-packed lesson full of a lot of smart activities. What we want you to do is think of just one of those that resonated with you and try it. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and close out the students view and just look at the teacher view so that I can show you what it looks like. So if you're looking at yourself as a student, switch to where the Zoom meeting is so you can see where I am. So once you sign in to SMART, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just another minute, it's in our Schoology course. This is your home page. You've got all of the activities that you've created in the past, but you can create additional. Oh, before I do that, because this was really fast, I do want to point out that they have a very robust training within it. So you can just click that training button and find out how to create, how to enhance your lesson, deliver it, create engaging activities, share it with students and colleagues. So all of this is in SMART itself, so you can go in and learn to your heart's desire. And we also have training as well. Also on the home page is where you add your activities. So from here, you can see I can import Smart Notebook files, PowerPoints, or PDFs. I can put in a YouTube video, and just so that you can see how easy it is, I'm not going to actually add it because it takes a little bit of time. But if I just search for theme, which is what our lesson was about, you'll see in just a moment that a whole bunch of YouTube videos will populate, and all I have to do is click on it and then click add. It looks like it's going to go real slow for me. Now, of course, always preview it, but you can see you just search it right within SMART itself to be able to add it to your lesson. I can add new pages. We have some already created activity template. I'm saying we, like I did it in SMART, but SMART has activity templates, including all of those game-based activities. And I showed you match them up, flip out. In the presentation are rank order and monster quiz as well. So you can get a copy of this using our Schoology course. And those, you'll see those in there. They also have these ready-made resources. So look at these graphic organizers that you can just click and add it directly into your presentation. You don't even have to create them yourself. So they've got a lot of things that make it super simple to create a very engaging lesson with your students. So in the last couple minutes, I want to bring you to our learning lab, and this is in Schoology. I'm going to go ahead and post into, actually, could Will or Sonia, could you post this access code into the chat? And you can write it down, or you can go into Schoology at any time and go ahead and put that in. We are going to be building this learning lab throughout the year. This is the first activity or first lesson that we've put in there, which is active learning strategies. So when you come to our course, this is our InTech Learning Lab, you'll see we do have a lot of resources and links in there. We are using a hexagonal strategy. So if you look closely at that, these are some best practices in all kinds of learning, including e-learning, hybrid, and of course, face-to-face. And so all of our sessions are going to focus on one of those strategies. If I go into the Smart Learning Suite online and then go into the Smart Learning Suite Online links. You'll see this is how we added, if I were having you to come into my Schoology class as a student, and then I wanted you to join the Hello Smart classroom, I could put that link in here under Add Materials, add a link very easily. You do want it to open in a new window because it does not open inside Schoology. I'm very sad about that, but it is how it works. We also have 2 different links, and if you'll, let me move right back over here. When I go back to my lesson, if I go over this lesson and go to the 3 little dots, I can actually create share links either to other teachers so that they can get a copy of it, or I can give student access. They're not going to get a copy, but they can go through it at their own pace, and then they can keep practicing the material. So back in Schoology, that's what these 2 links are. This teacher link, if you want a copy of our lesson, go ahead and click that. It'll make a copy in your Smart Learning Suite Online. Speaking of which, to get into your Smart Learning Suite Online, we have a teacher guide, a PDF, that hopefully will open for you right here. If not, you can download it. It will probably open quicker on your Wi-Fi at home or at school. And it tells you step by step, as well as for students, for teachers and students, how to get into SMART, and then a quick overview of what you're looking at on the home page. I think that's everything, and I think I did it in just about 30 minutes. Oh, stop share.
That
So
was awesome.
It's a lot of stuff in a small amount of time, but we really wanted to make you hungry to learn more about SMART. We invite you to come back to our webinar, which we'll go into much greater detail of those and how to create it, as well as reach out to our intech at polk-fl.net, our support site, and we'll bring training to you as well. That was a whirlwind.
You did awesome. And it's so different, right? Presenting on Zoom, because you don't get people's reactions, but if you're seeing the chat, it was blowing up. They loved it. Yes, they really, really loved it. Someone, I think, literally put, "I am in love." So you have made believers out of our audience.
And we are in love too. So reach out to us, intech at polk-fl, and we will get you more resources as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Laura. You did a fabulous job.
Thank you for having us.
Super exciting. Yeah, you're welcome. So we are going to go into our next segment. It's one of our favorites, aside, really the whole thing is awesome with getting to hear this new technology and then getting to pair you up with some awesome teacher leaders. We're going to go into this new section called Polk Schools Proud Awards, just a little bit of celebration before we dive in to being able to get into the learning with our classroom teachers. Before I jump into that, I want to remind you one more time, if you haven't already, and let me paste it in the chat. Oh, sorry, I sent it to the wrong person. Here we go. In the chat, I have put the form one more time. I have almost everybody, but I am still missing a few. And if you came in a little bit late and I haven't had a chance to private message you, you want to go ahead and choose your breakout. To remind you, we have Candy, who is our blended learning teacher. She's telling you what actually works. And so she's found out what works and what doesn't work in terms of keeping your students engaged and delivering instruction. She's even gotten to the point, some of you have said, how I'm planning like 2 separate lessons when I'm doing blended learning. Candy has gone to the point where she's really feeling like she's been able to plan a lesson to do both ways. So she'll give you some tips on that. Then we have Lindsay, who's our campus learning teacher using Flipgrid. I should have mentioned it earlier, but I love how she described it as, this is like the educational version of TikTok, being able to do Flipgrid. And so she is excited to share with you how she's engaging her students that way. And I will say Flipgrid really can be used across the board, not just if you're in class. And then finally, we have Natalie James. If you are an organized person who loves color coding like us, you're going to want to learn about Google Sheets and how she sets it up so it automatically color codes your data. You can see in groups what you're doing as far as remediation, as far as attendance. I mean, anything. She's got lots of different ideas of how you can use Google Sheets. And then as a bonus, how you can collaborate with other teachers or other support staff to communicate about these students, especially when you're e-learning. We're hearing a lot from e-learning teachers. It's like, I feel so disconnected from everything going on. So this is a really great tool. All right, so go ahead and put in your votes if you haven't already. Mallory, let's get started. We've got our Polk Schools Proud Awards. Again, these are for people who've done some little like detective work and been able to secure a few shout outs for some people. So I'll start us off, Mallory. This is from Shannon Brown, principal at Davenport Elementary, and she's saying that this teacher has taken on a large group of lively first graders. I've been a first grade teacher. Lively is a good word. As well as taken on the role of SAO support for K2 teachers. She's giving, knowledgeable, and a great team player. Her team loves her, and so do her students and their families. She's a wonderful asset to the Dolphin family, and we're so happy to have her on our journey. Who is this? Christine Oversmith. Yay! Nice job, Christine. Congrats.
All right, next up, ooh, I got a long one. Let me take a deep breath. I love these because it truly means that our administration has such positive things to say. As the school year started, we had a vacancy in first grade and we were asked to wait and fill the position. This teacher came to our administration team and asked where she could help. She volunteered to go into first grade position. Love it. And until we could fill it. And she didn't stop there. She assisted the other teachers on the first grade team in setting up their classrooms, data walls. I even received a couple of emails from teachers asking if she could permanently join the first grade team. I have a feeling she just really loves the first grade team. Here are a few things she does at our school: United Way sponsor, Kids Pack coordinator, Safety Patrol sponsor, A-Team sponsor, and PBIS committee chair. This person seems to do it all. I feel not qualified compared to her. So our winner is Cinnamon. I saw her
from
in
the
here.
classroom. Yeah. She's one of our new leading from the classroom people. All right, from Michael Sears at Jewett School of the Arts, this teacher has done a wonderful job as a first-year instructor who's hit the ground running. She provides instruction as a brick and mortar and e-learning, so a hybrid instructor. She has acclimated herself to utilize diverse instructional tools to ensure she is meeting the needs of students. She provides a learning environment that encourages productive struggle. Who is this?
Let's see.
I'm hoping I don't butcher your name. Amelie de Soledad. Dave, I'm usually much better at it than that. Congratulations. Nice job.
All right, our next one. This teacher is making strides with our medical academy students. She works collaboratively with our other medical academy teachers to implement the best teaching strategies possible. She is willing to help in every way that she can. And there is an emoji smiley face, which means that says it all. So our next winner is Jennifer Brantley. I saw her in. Congratulations.
Yay. All right, from Julie Ward, principal of Rochelle School of the Arts, this teacher's taken this school year with great stride. She's become knowledgeable in the technology programs like Schoology and Kami for her students. After learning the technology, she helps assist teachers on a Facebook group for teaching with Schoology. One of the things that I've noticed is that she provides the same rigor and quality of education to students, whether they're face-to-face or on e-learning, which we know is a challenge. That's awesome. Besides teaching both face-to-face and e-learning, this teacher also has several classes that are multi-level, and to ensure that her students would be safe, she volunteered to give her planning up to serve all her students who are face-to-face. Oh, this is awesome.
Jessica!
Jessica Sansom, good for you, girl.
So really quick shout out. I know she's in here and I didn't catch her earlier. I know she's listening to this, but last year I was in Extending Excellence and I got the opportunity to mentor her. So it's really awesome that she had this award tonight. So congrats, Jessica.
Killing it.
Straight up. All right, next one. Here we go. This teacher is genuine, and from day one, he worked to build relationships with his students. I love a teacher who pays attention to relationships. He's a self-starter and highly motivated. He's a first-year teacher, stepped up to the plate, and took on teaching all 7 periods. He's always eager to learn more and willing to try new things without hesitation. So here we go. Michael, congratulations.
All right, so we got through a few. Awesome. Congratulations to you guys. Seriously, that's really fantastic. I know there is no time like right now to really dig in and be your best teaching self. So congrats. I'm gonna pass over to Mallory. You want to set us up for breakouts?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Jessica. Just a little side note for those of you who won those School Proud Awards, we're sending those through the courier for you, so they will be headed your way very, very soon. So as we go into breakouts, there's a little bit we want you to know before we send you there. Our presenters are phenomenal. They are prepared. And so we are excited for you to observe what they have in store for you. Couple things, if you are not sure how to raise your hand, you know, it's kind of that typical classroom situation where if the presenter's speaking and we don't want to necessarily interrupt what they're doing during their presentation, you can raise your hand. The way you do this is you can either one, hold it there for a very, very long time, or two, you can click on the participants button and then there will be an option to raise your hand. And second of all, we ask that you ask very specific questions. There's a reason for this. Technology is so big, it's so vague, and we want to make sure that our presenters are able to answer those detailed questions that relate to you. If you think of a question tonight as you're about to fall asleep, you can email Teacher Engagement or one of your presenters, and they are more than kind enough to get to you and help you with your specific needs. So there will be an opportunity for question and answering at the end of their session. But we want to make sure that we just kind of bring up the fact that we ask those specific questions. Also, any notes or presentation that they have, we will get those to you tomorrow in the follow-up email. So if you missed out on something, or if you went to one presentation and you wanted to see the other one, we'll provide those notes in any presentations that they provide for us tomorrow. Okay, I think that's it, Jessica. So everybody signed up for breakout sessions?
Pretty much. If not, I'm gonna put you randomly in a group.
Listen, if you didn't sign up, you're gonna get put in like the best color coordinating organizational breakout session group that I have seen before. So I'm excited for all of you, and I hope that you're able to learn a lot from them, because we are so incredibly proud of what they're going to be presenting. So.
All right, we'll see you all in a few minutes. Well, 30 minutes, 45.
Okay.
Let me